welcome back. Today we have Kaiser Permanente, and we have Wendy Coling, who is the doctor that we're going to be talking to about the flu. And then she also brought Nicole Haney, who will be administering my flu shot right after we have our interview. So I'm going to get the, everything started here because, the flu is really starting early this year, isn't it?
It really is. Thanks so much for having us this morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so what happens often in America is what has happened in the Southern Hemisphere, particularly Australia.
Okay.
Not always, but it's a pretty good indicator of what kind of flu season we may have.
Okay.
So this past year, as you'll see on the graph behind us, and the orange line is the flu activity in Australia. The other lines are the flu activities in the prior years.
Okay.
So the real high line is from 2 years ago. Australia had a particularly bad flu season, and then that was the year we had a really tough flu season. About 80,000 Americans lost their lives to the flu that year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really a tough year. So this year we were paying particularly close attention, and we saw that the flu activity started about 2 months earlier than usual, and we're at very high levels. Not quite as high as 2 years ago, but much higher than most of the last several years.
Oh, wow.
Because of that, we've been kind of on high alert that the flu season may start early.
Okay.
Indeed, we're actually starting to see some flu activity already. So we're really encouraging everyone to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. It takes about 2 weeks for your immunity to kick in.
Oh.
Yeah, so we want you to go get vaccinated. Most experts recommend getting vaccinated by the end of this month, by the end of October.
Oh, okay. So I know people had started last month. I mean, you saw some advertising for it, and you saw, many of the pharmacies and things were all saying, start now.
Yes.
So getting it done. I didn't realize there was a 2-week waiting period, though.
Yeah, so your immunity doesn't really fully kick in until about 2 weeks after. Okay. So if you wait until you see a lot of flu activity in your community, it may be too late because you may already get exposed before you have that protection.
Oh, wow. However, wouldn't it still be somewhat effective? Like you would maybe not get the flu as bad? I mean, that you kind of hope so. If something's in there, you kind of hope maybe, right?
Yeah, it's not a perfect science. So somewhere during those 2 weeks you may have pretty good protection, but we really say it takes about a full 2 weeks to get that full protection you're going to get.
Okay, and you said you're already seeing flu cases. How many are you seeing? Do you know?
Well, we're just seeing sporadic ones right now, but the reality is this time of year we usually don't see so many confirmed cases, and we've had multiple confirmed cases now in our urgent cares right here in Orange County.
Wow. Is it all ages?
Yes, all ages.
Okay, all right. And why is it so important to be vaccinated? I mean, we have a community of 55 and over.
Yeah.
So why is it so important?
So flu vaccinations are really the most important way to prevent getting the flu, and more importantly, to prevent getting the severe complications of the flu.
Okay.
So flu vaccines have proven to reduce your risk of hospitalization from the flu and death from the flu. So we really want you to get vaccinated. Okay. There are some other things you can do to help prevent getting the flu. Of course, the vaccine's most important.
Right.
But first of all, stay away from sick people. So if you see people who are coughing or blowing their nose, try not to even be in the same room with them because the respiratory droplets are going all over the air and you can get infected from that. And then you don't want to spread the flu. So if you're sick, stay home.
Right.
And then we really want you to try to wash your hands frequently during cold and flu season. Whether you're sick or somebody else is sick, you don't want to be touching things and spreading it. And after you wash your hands, really try not to touch your eyes, your nose, your mouth, because this is where the germs can hide out. Or if you're well, this is where if you've touched something in a grocery store or somewhere else, if you touch your hands or your nose or your eyes, or I'm sorry, your mouth or your nose or your eyes, then you can infect yourself. So we just really try. So wash your hands frequently, avoid touching your face. And although most of us, when we were children, were taught to cover our mouth when we cough, now it's really cover your mouth with your elbow, not your hand.
Right.
So the children nowadays are learning that, so try to do that. And then finally, just do everything you can to stay healthy. You want to keep your immune system really strong. So you want to eat healthy, so lots of fruits and vegetables, a good healthy balanced diet. You want to try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you're a smoker, do everything you can for multiple reasons, not just to avoid getting the flu, but for multiple reasons. Don't smoke. And then also if you have chronic diseases like asthma or diabetes, you really want to get those under the best control possible to help strengthen your immune system, because if your asthma is not poorly controlled or your diabetes is poorly controlled, you're going to be more susceptible to infections like the flu.
Now, when you say washing your hands, you know, many of us will turn to Purell or some sort of antibacterial thing. Is that still effective?
Yeah, generally those are effective against the flu viruses and most cold viruses. So I generally a good hand wash, and you want to stay under the water for make sure you get soap and wash your hands for a good 30 to 60 seconds.
Oh, wow.
But if you just have the Purell or any of those disinfectants, generally those are effective.
They're okay.
as well.
Okay, good. And then one other question to help, you know, rid the surrounding areas like doorknobs and things like that. Is it Lysol? Is it a Clorox wipe? I mean, what do you do?
All of the above. You know, during cold and flu season, all those things, all the surfaces that we frequently touch, all the little knobs, the handles, the doorknobs, yeah, Lysol, Clorox wipes, any of those. I'm not particular to one brand, but any of those disinfectants are really helpful.
Okay, good, because boy, when we get sick here, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, wipe down everything you've touched.
Exactly.
Because we have lots of places where we're touching, obviously, the desk and things like that. Okay, and then what are some of the common misconceptions about the flu vaccine?
So one of the big ones is, for years we were told if we had an egg allergy that we couldn't get the flu vaccine.
Oh.
Yeah, so now that's changed. They've actually, after lots of research and just lots of observation of all the millions of vaccines we've given over the years, there's no increased risk of allergic reaction to people who have egg allergies versus the rest of the general population.
Okay.
So now people with egg allergies can receive any flu vaccine, and except any flu vaccine. But those with very severe allergies to eggs should actually still get their vaccine in a medical setting. So now a lot of times in the community you can get vaccinated. If you have a history of severe allergies, it's really best for severe egg allergies, it's best to get it in a medical setting.
I see.
A lot of people still think that you can get the flu from the flu vaccine, and it's really just impossible.
Right.
The active part of the virus is not contained in the vaccine, so sometimes you may feel a little achy, and that's really just your immune response to getting the vaccine.
Okay.
I mean, are we ready?
Well, I'm going to get the vaccine here, but before I do that, you know, we were talking about, you know, where you administer it. Do you get it in your dominant arm, your non-dominant arm? Which is the case? Does it matter?
So with patients, we really just have them whatever their preference is.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be a little bit sore, so I prefer the non-dominant hand. So but it's really patient preference.
Well, because I have to play pickleball, and my partner might get mad at me if my arm is hurting, so I better do it in the other arm. So we're gonna go ahead and no, you stay where you are. Okay. And then we're gonna have them administer my shot.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I get to sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting over here. Because we're going to do my non-dominant arm now, so all good.
And we already checked your allergies.
We already did,
make sure you weren't sick today.
That's right.
So I'm going to go ahead and just clean.
Although while she's getting, I do want to say, if you're mildly ill, that's not a contraindication to getting the flu vaccine.
Oh, it is? So what if you have a cold or something?
Yeah,
it's okay?
you can definitely still get it.
Okay.
The immune response is just a normal response to the vaccine.
1, 2, 3.
She's
and
good.
you shouldn't get any significant illness.
Look at that. Super easy. Super easy. So in closing, you would advise everyone to get your flu shot without a doubt.
Unless you have a history of severe reaction to the flu shot specifically. Everybody else should go ahead and get vaccinated 6 months and older.
6 months and older. Wow. All right. Well, thank you very much. It was nice to have you on. I appreciate it. Thank you for administering my shot. And everybody, just remember to get the flu shot, and we'll be right back after this.
Thank you.